check out our streaming schedule for this week. We've got tons of content in terms of the NFL and college football, as we're going live just about every single day this week. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single moment where we go live. And now, on with our feature presentation. January 26, 2025. It's the AFC Championship, and this might be the most anticipated AFC Championship in NFL history. And I do not say that lightly. The Kansas City Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills. Patrick Mahomes against Josh Allen. The Chiefs are looking to make it to their third straight Super Bowl and become the first team to go to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row after winning the first two, making them the closest team to three-peat in the Super Bowl era. The Bills are looking to make it to their first Super Bowl in over 3 decades, and are looking to finally get over the hump against the Chiefs team that beat them at the 2020 AFC Championship, at the 2021 divisional round in the infamous 13 seconds game, and at the 2023 divisional round in wide right 2. The whole country is watching this one. Literally, there was not a single college basketball game going up against this game. The entire NBA was off for the second half of this game, and all the eyeballs were on this incredible battle that lived up to the hype and then some. But as was the case with so many of these matchups in the past, it came down to the Bills shooting themselves in the foot with something really stupid and really heartbreaking. As for what that was, well, you can thank Sean McDermott for this year's iteration of a heartbreaking playoff loss. But before I talk about the big play in question that ended up costing the Bills in a big way, if you want to learn more about the history of the NFL and the history of the Super Bowl, seeing as the Super Bowl is coming up, then this is the place for you, because we talk about all things NFL history all the time with a new video and a new live stream every single day. So if you like that sort of stuff, then be sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that we post on the channel or a single time that we go live. Thanks in advance for your support as we try and hit 70,000 subscribers. At this point in the contest, the Bills lead at 22-21 and have momentum on their side after scoring a touchdown on their last drive and getting a stop. Faced with fourth down on the plus side of the field and only needing a yard, they're in a really good spot. Of course they're going to go for it. It'd be crazy not to. Just need 1 yard and keep the drive alive, keep the clock moving, and put Kansas City against the wall. As for the play they ran,
over the top. This time he said, forget about that left side. Oh, he might have lost the football at the end of that.
Wait, my bad. That's the wrong footage. That was the last quarterback sneak they ran, which didn't work out, and ended with them losing the ball. Let me try that again.
He goes left, and he's 0 for 3.
Crap, my bad, guys. That's the wrong footage again. That was the quarterback sneak they ran before that, which didn't get any yards. Take 3 on this one now.
It's Allen under center, goes out left side again. And again, he's denied.
You're kidding me. My bad, guys. That's the wrong footage. Again. That was the quarterback sneak they ran before that, which also didn't get any yards. Maybe the fourth time, I can actually get this right.
There. Allen tries to go off that left side. Flips it at the last moment. And Samuel.
Nope, never mind. Wrong footage. Once again, I don't know what's going on with me today. That was the quarterback sneak they ran before that, which, you guessed it, didn't get any yards. Okay, I think I've got the right footage this time. And they're, oh crap, why are you lined up in a freaking quarterback sneak?
Allen, push from behind.
After review, the ruling in the field stands as called. It'll be first down Kansas City.
Welcome to Dumb Decisions. Before I break down what happened here, this whole series is about taking in-depth look at decisions made during games that were clearly awful from the start. This isn't something to look bad in hindsight. Rather, this is something to look awful almost immediately. These are moves where your gut instinct tells you right away that there is no way this can possibly work. And sure enough, your gut instinct was smarter than that of an NFL head coach. And for this one, we're taking a look at the mind of Buffalo Bills head coach, Sean McDermott. Why is it that every game between the Chiefs and the Bills find a way to lose in the postseason in the most heartbreaking fashion? It truly is an art form. And say what you want about the Chiefs and getting lucky and getting some breaks, but it truly is amazing how every team that plays the Chiefs seems to find a way to shoot itself in the foot at the worst possible time. Sean McDermott's coaching has been much maligned over the years despite the winning, and this decision might be one of the most confusing of his entire Bills tenure, which is saying a ton because he's made a lot of really confusing decisions, one of which you can learn more about by clicking the card in the upper right corner. I have no idea what McDermott was thinking by calling a quarterback sneak here, and it absolutely backfired on them in spectacular fashion, resulting in the Chiefs getting the momentum back on their side, resulting in the Chiefs driving down the field for the go-ahead touchdown, and resulting in the Chiefs winning the game like they always do. So with that being said, let's take a look at why calling a quarterback sneak here on 4th down and going for it there is a really bad idea. And I know what you're probably thinking right about now, come on, this is an overreaction. Don't you usually say in this spot that you should do the quarterback sneak? Heck, the Philadelphia Eagles execute it to perfection. The Baltimore Ravens line up Mark Andrews in that spot, and they always get it, and he's a tight end. In theory, this should be the right play call, and this just seems like hindsight bias to not try anything else. And 99% of the time, I would agree with you. Believe me, 99% of the time, this is a massive overreaction on my end, and I'm saying, well, it was the right call to sneak it, it just didn't work out. Good play by the defense. Having said that, this might be the dumbest non-Joe Judge related QB sneak I've seen in my life. That one doesn't count. That's in an entire universe of stupidity. You can learn more about that by clicking the card in the upper right corner. But in terms of 4th down quarterback sneaks, this has to be up there for one of the dumbest attempts of the bunch. Because while this play might not seem like a bad play in a vacuum, with the appropriate context, this was, quite literally, the only play you couldn't call in that spot. The quarterback sneak for the Bills on this day was working about as well as me chucking up full court shots. The success rate was roughly comparable. I think it's fair to say that a successful quarterback sneak has 2 successful elements. If you hit on both of them, the play is a success. Number 1, you have to get the requisite yardage. Seems rather obvious, but that's the first criteria. If you need a yard and you don't get a yard, then the play is a failure. And number 2, you have to hold on to the ball. Also seems rather obvious, but I can't exactly say that a play is a success if you can't hold on to the football and you cough it up with a good old-fashioned case of the butterfingers. It's like in basketball. Even if you make the shot, but an offensive foul gets called for a moving screen, I can't say the play was a success. So with that in mind, let's look at every quarterback sneak for the Bills that called from the time they were trailing 21-10 up until that point. We go to the second quarter, where the Bills, faced with the ball at the 1-yard line, decide to go for 2 after a Chiefs penalty. There, they run the quarterback sneak. The play gets stuffed, and Josh Allen gets absolutely nothing on the play. The score remains 21-16 as a result. Safe to say, this didn't work. Allen stuffed. Now, we go to the third quarter, with the Bills facing 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line. There, Josh Allen tries a quarterback sneak. He ends up getting absolutely nothing on the play. Absolutely stuffed. That play is a failure. You couldn't get the yard that you needed, and the Chiefs were able to hold for at least one more play before James Cook punched it himself on 4th down. 0 for 2. Now, at the end of the third quarter on the very next drive, the Bills try a quarterback sneak again, facing 3rd and 1. Once again, Josh Allen gets no leverage whatsoever. The offensive line loses that rep handily, and the Chiefs get the stop, bringing up 4th down. Needed a yard, and once again, you couldn't get it. 0 for 3. The very next play, the Bills try going for it, and what do you know? They try a quarterback sneak. The good news is that this play gets the 1st down. However, the only reason it does is because Josh Allen, knowing the offensive line is getting no penetration, decides to say, screw it, I'm jumping over everyone. And he ends up losing the football in the process, being fortunate enough to get it back. 0 for 4. The most successful quarterback sneak you ran in that stretch was a play where you literally lost the football. The 2 basic criteria of a quarterback sneak, holding onto the ball and getting the 1st down. And all 4 times, you failed to do that. So let me ask you this. Why the heck would you try it a fifth time. I know the old saying of, if at first you don't succeed, try again. But come on, this wasn't perseverance, this was insanity. If it didn't work the first 4 times, why did you think it would work the 5th time? This was like the Spanish Inquisition scene in Monty Python. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. No one expects the quarterback sneak. That's how absurd this was. Do I have a problem going for it? Of course not. You need a yard. You're on the plus side of the field, and you're in a really good position. Do I have a problem with calling the quarterback sneak there? Absolutely. Again, it's situational. For most teams, I'm not criticizing this decision. For a team that's failed the last 4 times, run any play, literally any other play. Naked bootleg with Josh Allen, play action in the flat, run to James Cook, literally anything else besides a quarterback sneak, within reason obviously, and I'm not making this video. Much like I'm not going to criticize the Cowboys for trying a 61-yard field goal with Brendan Aubrey, but I am going to make a dumb decisions episode of the Bears try a 61-yard field goal with Cairo Santos. I'm not going to criticize most teams for trying a quarterback sneak in that spot, but I absolutely will if they fail the last 4 times they did it and everyone knew it was coming. Just because it's a good play for most teams doesn't mean it's a good play for your team and for everyone in every situation. And if this play was not working the entire game, and especially as of late, you'd be crazy to call it in the biggest moment. And maybe it'd be different if there was a different variation of this play. If this play wasn't the most predictable thing out there, then maybe I'm giving McDermott a pass, and offensive coordinator Joe Brady a pass, and everyone involved here a pass. But let's look at every other quarterback sneak that the Bills ran during that stretch, shall we? First one, running back lined up exactly 1 yard behind Josh Allen with the back in a crouch, lunging stance. Second one, running back lined up exactly 1 yard behind Josh Allen with the back in a crouched, lunging stance. Third one, running back lined up exactly 1 yard behind Josh Allen with the back in a crouched, lunging stance. Fourth one, running back lined up exactly 1 yard behind Josh Allen with the back in a crouched, lunging stance. Even the hand placement on the snap by the back is almost identical. So let me ask you this. When you see this formation on 4th and 1, and you see the running back lined up exactly 1 yard behind Josh Allen with the back in a crouch, lunging stance, what do you think is going to happen? Even Blue's Clues would have rejected this plot line for how easy it was to figure out. You can't make a 22-minute episode out of this. You're 0 for 4 on a play, and you decide to run it again in the same exact formation to not even try and fool the Chiefs one bit? This is the equivalent of a movie giving a character an eye patch, an evil mustache, and a deep voice to let you know that he's the bad guy. This might as well be a big neon sign that this is going to be a quarterback sneak, which again, is fine if you're good at it. Everyone knows the tush push is coming in Philly, but it's not a big deal because they succeeded it 90% of the time and they run it so well. When you haven't made it work once, when it's failed your last 4 attempts, that's a problem. That's a freaking problem. And it was absolutely a problem here. And after the game, to the credit of the Buffalo media, literally the very first question that was asked was, in essence, why? Why the heck would you continue to call that play? As for what McDermott had to say about it, take a listen.
The Josh, 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1 run that's been so successful for you. Why keep going back to that play?
Well, it's been our best play all year, at 1 or inside of 1 yard, and we won some of those. But to your point, they're doing a good job. I thought overall, maybe we could have disguised it, maybe not. But at the end of the day, we have confidence in Josh and our offensive line to get those, and they've been getting them all year.
In other words, the plan worked all year, so why not go to it there? And I would agree with the logic if that was the first or the second time you ran that play. But we don't care about this year. We care about, today. We care about how the play was working today. And the last 4 times, it was stuffed. It wasn't working today. So don't call it today. I'll give you an example of why this logic by McDermott was really dumb. Let's say I'm a singer and I can usually hit a high C. I'm able to hit those high notes. I can do some Axl Rose and Journey at karaoke and whatnot, and I can usually feel pretty good about it. However, every time I go up there and I sing on this night, it's not working. My voice is cracking, I feel like I'm straining myself, and I'm not feeling that great whatsoever. I guarantee you that for my next song, if I go up there and sign up for Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet, it's going to be a disaster. Because even though I can usually hit those notes time and time again throughout the night, I've proven that I can't. There comes a point where continuing to try a method and a play and a concept that has not worked becomes really stupid. And this man you've been watching this whole time, Sean McDermott, absolutely crossed that line. Was this a first down and a really bad spot? Was he sure? I don't know. It was super close. We're going to be debating that one forever. But it never should have come down to that spot. This was a horrible play call at a horrible, horrible time. And as a side note, when it came to the game between these two teams behind me right here, I love that earlier in the day, we saw a controversy regarding the tush push and the Philadelphia Eagles, with the play being too overpowered. Should the NFL ban the tush push? The Eagles are too good at it. It's an unstoppable play. There's no way you can play defense against it. You cannot defend the tush push. Get rid of it. It is a stupid play, and it is a cheat code, and it should not be a thing. Well, turns out only the Eagles know how to run it, because on the opposite end of the spectrum, you got the Buffalo Bills doing, well, whatever the heck this was. So what did we learn from all this? If you call a play 4 times in a row, and it continues to fail, maybe you shouldn't call it a 5th time. If you have 2 options, and one option is to play with a success rate of 0%, and the other option is to play with a success rate that, at a bare minimum, is greater than 0%, then you need to pick the latter option. Quarterback sneaks aren't bad plays by any means on the surface, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And just because a play works for one team, doesn't mean it's necessarily going to work for you. Just as a general piece of life advice, don't try something in the biggest moment of your career that you have never succeeded at and failed repeatedly at if you don't have to do it. If you can try something else with a higher success rate, do that. It's going to save you in the end. And while it's too late for the Bills and Sean McDermott to take that lesson, maybe it's not too late for you. Because when all these elements are in play, you can't exactly be surprised when this play backfires. Talk about a dumb decision. Be sure to like and subscribe if you have not done so already, as it helps the channel out a lot. And check out my other channels, JG8 for the history of college football, JG7 for the history of baseball, and JG9 News, where we talk about all things happening in the NFL. Join me every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we'll play live NFL trivia for cash prizes. And make sure to join me live, as we're on stream just about every single day. And thanks to all our Patreon members and our YouTube members for helping out the channel. See how you become a member and show your support financially in the description down below.